pillow talk. Here goes nothing. Whew. I want you to know, and it's nothing but the truth, but it's a shame to admit. I finally got a shower. Well, I've had frozen water for a month, but my neighbor has filled up my water reservoir, so I've not been without water, but I've been real careful with it because it was below zero and in the single digits, and he was out there filling up my water. So, hello, good people. Hello. I've had the most terrible time the last few, well, kind of, sort of, but I mean, still every day is a great day, you know. Any day above ground is a great day, the day the Lord's made. But boy, I tell you what, last couple of days have been quite exhausting. And then today, the last couple of days, I've been busy. The reason I've not done any videos much or anything, you know, because believe me, I got plenty of thoughts running around in my head all the time. But I had to go to down in Tennessee, which is not that far, but to get a bottle washer, a portable washer, a portable compact washer that you can just pick up and set. I mean, it's just it's a washing machine. It's just like any regular washing machine. It's just small. So I would consider it a half load. You could do about four pair of jeans in there easy, maybe 5. You could, you know, wash your blankets in there. You could put 4 towels in there, big ones, or 3 big ones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can. I mean, I'm just so excited about it, you know. And it's brand new in the box, and I got it off of Marketplace for $200. And no nails. When I popped one of them off today, so I just took the rest of them off. It's time to do them anyway, you know. And so the next day, I went and got a dryer, a portable 110, plug it into a regular wall socket clothes dryer. And I got it for $150. And I went the other way. I went to Boone, North Carolina to get it. Where I live at in Virginia is right there on, you know, Virginia comes out and it comes at a peak. It's kind of like a bird's peak. I live at the peak. So, you know, you can go just a couple of miles up the road and you're into Tennessee, literally. I'd say 3-4 miles, and I'm into Tennessee. And then you go, I'd say about another 30 miles, 35, 40 miles, and you're in Boone, North Carolina. So I had to go to Boone to get the clothes dryer, you know. And it's still in the back of the Jeep. Yeah, I'm working on it. I had to empty out the pantry and put it out on the porch. And thank God Nina showed up this evening. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Nina showed up with me some supper. A Fiesta chicken. I think she said she got it from Logan's. And, it was delicious. And it had lime squeezed on top of it. It was very good. And then Samantha came by. Sam is one of my kids off my school bus, which Sam's about 40 years old. You know, but she brought me a Valentine heart for candy for Valentine's Day. So she made sure I got something, you know. Nina made sure I got some dinner. It was very kind. And just meant so much. So much. Sam will never know how much it meant to me. You know what I mean? But I love my youngins on my school bus. Courtney, she's always sending me I think Courtney's a year or two younger than Sam, but Courtney, now she buys and sells stuff like I do. Samantha's a bookkeeper. She does a payroll at for Food City grocery stores. Her and another girl do like something like 20,000 employees or 30,000, something like that every 2 weeks. And I just feel so sorry for Sam. I mean, that's a rough job. People's money. When you're handling people's money like that, I mean, it's a great office job. But, and I know she makes pretty good money. But boy, she earns it. And she's went through cancer this past year. I mean, she's just 40 years old. I mean, she's 38, 39, 40 years old. She might be a little bit younger than that. I don't know. Shame on me. I don't know. But she had cancer. Never sick a day in her life. I mean, never, ever, ever. You know, and one daughter graduating and one daughter underneath that. And single mom. No child support. What a girl. And then she met the nicest guy. And he's so crazy about her. He makes really good money. And he's a good-looking guy. And, you know, and he asked her to marry him. And they found out, like, within a day or two of that, my understanding. Because anyway, and she was, they went to the beach, and they got to the beach, and they took some pictures, and like that evening, she had to go to the hospital, and they had come home. She had cancer. I mean, they were rushing her into treatments immediately. It really hit me hard. But she's come right through it. She rang the bell when she got done with her. I think she's still got a port in. I'm not for sure. And you know she had to go through the same thing I did over that billing. And because I pay Samantha to help me sometimes. I pay Courtney to help me sometimes. I pay Abel to help me sometimes because I need help sometimes because through the years I've been a business owner and I just, you know, I prefer my friends to help me and it helps them. And I pay pretty good. Even if I don't get paid, I pay pretty good, you know. I've always been pretty proud of that. And so, anyway, but they'll help me if I ain't got no money. They're family. They're not just friends, they're family. But I had paid Samantha to do some work for me, and she called from UVA, where she goes up there to get her University of Virginia, where she goes up there about that cancer, and she was doing something with the billing, because the billing is crazy. You know, she's got insurance, but whatever, she was applying for help to see if she was eligible. That she said that woman was such a bitch to her. And I thought, how could you just have to know Samantha and how wonderful and sweet and nice and giggly and funny and sense of humor and energetic and hardworking and beautiful. She's very beautiful. She really is. Maybe that's why that girl was mean to her. I'll tell you what I told her. When I waitressed and somebody, if I didn't like them, I always said feed them and fuck them. Fuck them. And I know that's not Christian, and I'm sorry. But this is what I always said. Feed them, fuck them, feed them quick and get them the fuck out of here. Let them go. You know, that's the best thing that you can do. So that's more or less what I told her. My mom always said, it's 15 minutes of your life, Mitzi. Get it over with and, you know, forget about it. Sometimes it hangs with us, you know. and then I had to deal with the water department. Courtney's, she buys and sells stuff like I do. I'm woman Sanford, and she's Sanford. She's woman Sanford Jr., you know. So anyway, the water department, long story short, my water had been leaking for 3 months. And I paid to fix a guy, and I paid 2 really high water bills. And About $400 in 2 months. And I thought it was, I had it fixed. I was waiting for them to fix the bill. And it ends up it was their water leak. And they're so huffy, and I said, I don't have anything leaking. My fix-it guy's here that I'm paying for the second time. Can you please send somebody? I think it's your all's fault, not mine. And then they want to give you a credit, which in my case would be, if I'm paid up to current date, which I am, of course, but to pay up to current date, they would owe me back like $150, and that would pay my water bill. My water bill's $30 a month. Supposed, is what it runs. I don't need my water bill paid up for the next 5 months. I don't want up credit. I want my money back. What my fault to start with. You didn't have no right to charge me. You don't have no right to keep it. And long story short, I've got a friend of mine, a guy that helps me, and his name is Miguel. And he's good guy. Good, he's a real nice fella, and he's a good family man, and he's a legitimate business owner. He pays his taxes, receipts. He has men he pays and equipment and stuff like that. Anyway, he's done a lot of work for me. And anyway, I had him to come down and check the water. So the first time he came, it was $150. The second time he came 3 months later, he did it for free because he felt plumb sorry for me because he knew it wasn't my fault, and he knew that I really didn't have the money to pay him. Again, a friend, like family. And I had they want you to turn in them receipts at the water company. And so I did. To prove that you fixed it so they can adjust the bill, not so I get my money back. Nobody gets the money back on that. I didn't think or whatever, but I just wanted my money back on and again, all they want to do is a credit when they finally process it, like 2-3 months later. And it just got well, anyway, she actually, I pissed her off because when she hung the phone up on me, I left a review, and that's what I said. I said, somebody named Holly just hung up on me. And this is what's happened. And anyway, the next thing I know, Miguel is messaging me on my phone, can you call me? And I was in an appointment myself right then, and when I got out in the parking lot, and so she was investigating that receipt. Oh my, I was so, I felt nauseous. That shot my blood pressure up. And I called them for the last time. And I said, don't you dare bother my fix-it guy again. I said, I didn't request for that money back. I said, if Miss Holly wants to pay me back, that's fine. She can put it in the mail. But do not bother my fix-it guy again. I said, you had absolutely no right, and how dare you. If you needed to know something, you could have called me, not hung up on me. And if I don't get my money back by the 23rd, I'll be going to the monthly meeting. I want my money back. Simple as that. I just want my money back. Money back, there's nothing to fuss about anymore, is there? But I felt like she's trying to make it look like I was doing something dishonest, hassle me, try to cause me trouble. I felt threatened, and oh no, you don't. I beg your pardon, Anyway. So, overlooked me. And then today, I was trying to move the pantry out onto the porch. I bought this plastic pantry. It's a Rubbermaid outdoor, like, garden pantry. Open the 2 front doors, and you got, like, 4 shelves. Well, I had bought it to put some stuff in, and the only place I could put it was in here. Well, that had to go out there on the porch, so I've got it empty, and everything that was in it is on top of the stove and in the sink and in the floor. And the Rubbermaid, thank God Nina showed up. She helped me get the Rubbermaid thing out there on the porch. You can imagine the mess I got. So the dryer is still out there in the Jeep. And the washer is scooted up in front of the kitchen sink, and it just works like a charm. I just absolutely love it. It's so quiet. It's very nice. And I just finally got a shower. So I hadn't had a shower in several days. I mean, it probably been about 5 days. I mean, I washed my hair. I brushed my teeth and all that, washed my face, but, you know, to take a shower. Whew, boy, I feel better. And so that's what I've been doing. And I'll do a video on my washer and dryer. But I ain't showing nobody my house right now. My house is a mess. It is. It's a mess right now. It's a terrible mess. I'm in a mess constantly. I mean, I really am. It's like Courtney said. She said it's just our world. And that's the way it is. You know, when you buy and sell stuff, or if you have a business from home or whatever, you're always good, unless you've got a building. And I had a builder several years. But that's a lot of expense, and I really want to be home now. And you know, I told Deborah today, as far as my flowers go, I got something in mind for that. And I said, you know, Deborah, I may end up making more money than I've ever made. And I said, that's the way God works. He has and I say this jokingly, I'm not being disrespectful at the Lord. But you know, I think God would have to have a sense of humor. And I think he does have a sense of humor. And I think that that's how God works. Wouldn't that be great? So, you know, but at the moment, I'm just in a big mess with a bunch of stuff that's real pretty. Piles of it. And on top of that, I've got to move everything I've got out of my house before I am all the way legally divorced. But I have to get my money first because I have to hire Miguel. And that kind of moving, it's $150 to $200 an hour. You know, so it's got to be moved from my house into a storage unit. Because I can't do it, you know. And, I mean, I can't with rheumatoid arthritis, or I'd done got it. Of course I would have. That's my personal things, you know. I mean, he has been nothing but a drunk. And insulting, screaming. You know, can't you get off your ass and do something? You hadn't done anything in 3 years. I beg your pardon. Yeah, I work every day. And, but, you know, when you couldn't, I'm in a lot better shape now than I was at first. At first, I was really having a hard time. And now I'm on medicines. And so now I do better. But at first, all I could do was just sit and crochet. And he didn't want me to work anyway. He just wanted something to bitch about, to say something cruel to me. You know, if I heard it one time, I heard it every day, multiple times a day. Your mama says all you care about is money. Well, he cares about some money. Mama says all you care about is money. Your daughter won't have anything to do with you, and your daddy never wanted you. Coward of the county drunk. And it's taken all this time, you know, I didn't have anywhere to go, you know. I had to get a place set up to live. So, and I lived in my camper in my yard, and him living in the house for a few months, you know. Till finally he started beating on my camper with his fist, and I had to call the law. It's the only time I ever called the law to get out of there. And I didn't like them much more than I liked him. So, if that tells you anything. Wanted me to go take a protective order. No, I went and got a lawyer. You know, I just went and got a lawyer. That's the best thing to do. I ain't afraid of him. He sat up there drunk for the rest of his life. It didn't bother me. I just need my stuff and my money out of my property. Then they try to act like it's not really it's not half mine. And if it is partly mine, it's just partly mine. I beg your pardon, I got paperwork to prove how long this has been going on and the money that I've got in it and all of that. I can show some of it, which is quite significant. So, you know, whatever, it's up to a judge. I ain't worried about it. I'm really not. you know, I'm perfectly happy. And I haven't done, I don't do without a thing now. Now that I've paid a lawyer and I have no dealings with him about money, all my bills are paid and I have everything that I need. I'm fine. And I have a few bucks in my pocket, which leads me in another thing. Listen to me about the selling stuff. So I just listed some stuff today. And I listed some curtains. Well, I listed some balances. And I did list one set of draperies, which was, they're Sears draperies. They're like 125 wide by 84 long. They're the foam drapes you put on like the picture window. Sears, Canon, tweed, mauve, like a rose color. Not mauve, I mean a rose color. I mean just a light shade of pink. Go with anything. A dusty rose color. And they're the kind that you would draw to save your heat. You would close the blinds or the curtains to save your... And I kept all this time thinking I might use them. I might make some curtains for the camper because campers are cold. But I'm never going to get around to it. I put them... So that's what I'm telling you. I bought those at a churchyard sale. I gave, maybe $5. And they're still new in the pack from the 1980s. They're new vintage. So if I were selling them on eBay, I would put $125. Because after fees and all of that, you're probably going to get, if it's $125, you're probably going to end up with about $80. So I just put them locally on Marketplace for $75. And I didn't cross-list them because I'll sell them on Marketplace first. And then if you end the item, they're going to charge you the fees anyway. So eBay, I'm not fooling with you. There are certain things I'll fool with eBay for. But this ain't one of them. You know, eBay's stupid. eBay's changed completely from the time I started selling. I started selling on eBay about 23 years ago. And I don't even fool with it hardly at all. And I used to sell a lot on... I sold enough on eBay to buy a car. You know, I mean, I did. Because I had to have a car. You know. To take my daughter to school because she was in private school. And anyway. But I sell on Marketplace mostly now. I sell thousands of dollars in a month. If my health holds out, you know, the mobility thing. I mean, I have sold thousands of dollars in a month, but I'm very slow these days. And, but nevertheless, I listed those drapes. That's what I want to touch base with you about. One of the things, I paid $5 and I put them on Marketplace for $75. You know, somebody comes through, and as long as they're polite and offer me $50, I'll take it. But most of the time, you'll get your $75. And let me tell you something about that. And you already know it, $75 goes a whole lot farther than $50 does. So, I always, you know, and especially when it's worth it, and these are. So, then other draperies I got 2 sets of valances. One is a valance set of 5, cotton, white, with a floral on it. Very pretty. Looks like something Sears, JCPenney. No staining, no raveling. I mean, just beautiful, crisp white with flowers. Valances. They've been washed. They need to be ironed. So I've got $5 in those, and I put $35 on them. If you've got a sunroom or something like that, you know. And again, if somebody comes through and says, could you take $25? Sure, yes. But I would rather have $35, of course. Now, and then I listed another set of valances, and I told Nina, I said, you might want them. If you want them, I'll give them to you. So I just paid $2 for them. And she didn't want them. So anyway, I listed them. I think I put them out there for $15. Okay. Might have put 20 on them. I don't know. I can't remember right now. And I also listed all over the prettiest bumblebee blanket. It's fleece. And you know how they cut the edges and make fringe? It's bumblebee on top, fleece. It's a sage green with these happy bumblebees. I call them happy bees. And the reverse fabric is a black fleece. Anyway, I paid $4 for it, and I put it on Marketplace for $40. They're $85 on Etsy. So that is how I make money. And you can make a lot more than that. I mean, you know, like with furniture and stuff like that. But I mean, just to throw a few pieces out there, make a little pocket change, you know. I think right now I have about 70 listings on Marketplace, but I can only find about 20 of them where I moved the store home. So I started listing some things, because I need the space. I have a mess. And B, because, you know, it's like pennies from heaven. It always is. It's very helpful. That's why I don't do without anything. It's an honest dollar. It's hard work. And I just let them stop here and pick it up. I'm not going anywhere. You know, they can stop right here. I live on the main road. They just pull right, and they love it. When they pull in here, they're not afraid to buy off of me. You know, it's cute. I've got a cute little place, tiny home. And so that is how, you know, so that's what I'm telling you. And where did we go the other day? Okay, so when we went to Boone to get that dryer, me and Deborah, we stopped at the Hebron, and I think I talked about this on the previous video, but whatever. We stopped at the Hebron for thrift shop ministries, thrift shop. And then we stopped at, there's 2 Goodwills in Boone, but I just went to one. And I bought, I think I spent maybe about $40, you know. And I had sold a few items this past week, and had 60 in my wallet. Anyway, it worked out that way. I got $20 worth of gas, and then, because I had to, I was about out, I put 20 in the gas tank, and then I came home with like $3 in cash is what I had left in my wallet. And so none of it come out of my household budget money, whatever you want to call it, you know. That was just, you know, a little bit of pocket change. So it's really helpful because I don't have to fool with, everybody's like, Mitzi, why don't you, you know, go get this or go get that? Well, would I qualify? I'm sure I would, yeah. But I don't want to fool with that. I don't have to fool with that. I don't want to fool with, like Samantha had to fool with, and, you know, or like I had to fool with that water department woman, you know. She acted like one of them, and that's what I said. I mean, you know, I said, I'm not standing in a welfare line. I didn't say that to her, but I say this to you, you know what I'm saying. And if you are standing in a welfare line, and if you are a true recipient, you certainly don't need to be treated like that. Or if you're down at, you know, social services to get help to get your Medicare premium for. That's a lot of help to a lot of seniors, a lot of people, and nobody needs to be, you know, I mean, they take them attitudes, but I know that they deal with the scum of the earth a lot of the time. I know, but it's like I said about the waitress, and it's your job. Feed them and fucking let them go on, you know. Do their paperwork, get them on out of there. You can't take it personally. You know. And with whichever side of the fence you own, you know. And when that woman called Miguel and was wanting to know what that $150 was for, that got real personal with me. You don't worry about that. That ain't none of your business, because I didn't request for that money back. How dare you? You no judge. You ain't no lawyer. You Miss FBI sleuth there, bothering somebody, calling him, hanging up on me and calling him, and he's out there working, doing labor for a living. He works hard for his money. And here's some ignorant bitch bothering everybody instead of doing her damn job to start with. You know, that's just what I think about it. And I don't care who knows it. That's why I said I'm an old waitress, you know. You develop really tough skin when you're a waitress, if you do it for any amount of time. Somebody was talking about, I think, was a bartender, and I'm like, and she got to retire, and I'm like, oh, good for you, that's great. You know what I like? I love, I don't drink, but I love Baileys and coffee. And they used to make a cheap version, call it cookies and cream. A girlfriend of mine used to get for us. And we'd make this yummy coffee and paint ceramics after we'd get off of our waitress shift. And we're still friends. I mean, I've known Stacy, I guess, 30 some years. I don't know, forever. Family, And I like, that's about it. I like the Baileys and cream or something like that in your coffee, or I like a good drink that tastes good. I don't much care for the frozen, like daiquiris or margaritas, but I like a margarita on the rocks and salted rim. I don't need no brain freeze. I don't want no slushy, but a lot of people love them and they are good. It's just I'd rather have, I like to take I used to date this guy, and I would get tequila and coffee and just enjoy looking at him, And maybe it might get to that point to where I can sit here and I can have a good, yummy cup of coffee and, And it's really nice, because like Nina come by today and Samantha dropped by today. And it's just my normal house. And, Deborah will drop by. Anybody can drop by, It's thrills me. It just tickles me to death. The cats running in and out, I just can't believe my life got so good. And I just feel like a millionaire. And I'm still figuring it out every day, just like anybody else is that has to make a transition, And I can't wait to wash my, it's of course we want to wash our clothes. But what gets to me about as bad as anything else is the bed clothes. I like clean, fresh bedclothes, curtains, things like that. Your towels, your area rugs, just keeps your house smelling good, And so now I can do that. And I'm so excited. And tomorrow I can get the dryer in here. And, it takes me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times longer to get things done than what it used to take me 20 minutes to do. Courtney said, "Have you got your dryer, and I said, no, the dryer's still in the Jeep. It's still in the Jeep. I said, yes. I ain't got no help. She said, well, the car's tore up. I come and help you. And I said, no, that's okay. I said, there ain't nowhere to put it anyway. And so, you just catch a lower gear, And so and then there was me thinking about this, and I was thinking, well, gosh, I don't, that's what's, I just been really busy. So I told Nina, I said, well, praise God. All I got left is, I don't have even, the only thing I've got an appointment for is a doctor appointment, probably 4 or 5 months from now. And to go to court for my divorce one day, I've got it to where, other than just straightening out my mess here, just working here at home, because I don't like to go in. I used to have to get up at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and go to work. I did that for years and years and years. And then waitressing, I work in the evenings mostly. And just to be able to go on my time and my dime and, that's fine. I take care of myself. Well, I can't really say that because my friends are so good to me and help me and thoughtful of me and spoil me, like Nina bringing me something to eat. And she brought me some pop. I was out of pop. I said, I've got 3 cases. She said she was coming. She's going to bring me some food. And I said, could you please stop and get me a 2-liter of anything, just enough to get me through till tomorrow, till I could get a shower and go to the store myself, And she got me a 12-pack of Coke and brought me my dinner and visited in a minute. And I need to get some lights up out there because it was after dark when she left. And there ain't no light out there. But, I mean, it's just if you walked out on my porch, I'll do a video. I mean, it's just full of flowers out there on the porch. I've got a covered porch. And I've got a covered porch. And so all my flowers, have a lot of flowers. Not all my flowers, but part of my flowers are on the porch. And the bouquets, a lot of the bouquets are out there. And so that's why there's no room for nothing else. And it's a big porch, you know. And I've just got a mess. But it's okay, because now I get to work on it, is what I'm saying. I've got I got my address changed at DMV. My address changed at the bank. I do need to change my address with the Department of Taxation. I got to do that, but that's another day, you know. I haven't even sold anything, and I'm going to be penalized $10 a month because I haven't. But life has been so crazy, and so I'll fix it. I'll get it done, and by the time I get it done, it'll probably be $200. And ask me, am I worried about that? No, I'm not. I'll pay it. It's just sales and use. But if you don't sell nothing, you got to tell them, you know, you got to fill that out once a month. And I've got my computer in there. I got my computer. I set it up on the table, but it's not set up. I need Samantha or Courtney for that. I need to set all that up and plug it in. I can't get under the table to plug it in. I can't crawl around like that anymore. So it's for reasons like that. It's not that I don't take care of business, because that's all I've been doing, you know. I've been taking care of shit that's other people's fault. And I mean a lot of it. So you got to hang in there, you know, and I'll be back, and I'm going to cut this off. And I mean, I could go on talking. There's always stuff going around in my head, but I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to upload it. And I love you. And thank you so much for all of the company, friendship, family, kindness. Every single person that I read or leaves a heart or whatever, it warms my heart that people reach out and take the time. And the ones that come back, I'm like, well, that makes me feel so good, because you just feel like you just, you know, it's kind of odd in a way, you know, but I've always worked the public and drove a school bus with a bunch of chatty children, and I just don't think much about doing this, you know what I'm saying? But it makes me feel like maybe it brings somebody comfort for a minute or two. It's a lady I like to watch. She's like that. Her name is Llama Mama Kayla. She crochets with 3 fingers. Check her out. I just love to listen to her talk. I put her on at night, and I go to sleep listening to her. And I like to watch what she does. She does all kind of different little crafty things and keeps herself busy, because she's about like, she's a lot worse off than me or anybody that I know. But she keeps herself, she's got a real good husband, and she keeps herself doing little crafts and things and upbeat, and, you know, she's really interested. She homeschooled her children. And so she's a homebody anyway, and her house is really cool. And they live in Louisiana. Check her out, Llama Mama Kayla. And YouTube supplements for her, and she uses that money to, like, pay her home health, because they don't get help, you know. Her husband works. And check her out, because that'll help her out. And I think if you like to listen to me, you'd love her. And another one I like to watch is Just Rowan. J-U-S-T, Just Rowan. R-O-W-N, Rowan. Just Rowan. And she's got a dog named Ruby. It's a Weimaraner, I guess is how you say it. And that dog is so beautiful. And she has a van. She lives in her van. A nice van. And she's built up to that. And she does a lot of cooking. I like to watch her cook and stuff like that. And I love you. I love you. I love you. Day the Lord's made. Rise, kill, and eat. If you don't, you won't last long. And I will be back.